Hey, welcome to the last ride-along video in this vehicle. Yes, this vehicle. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing these ride-alongs, but it might not be the same because I could be in a tuk-tuk or a rickshaw or a bullet train. And today, that's what I want to talk about. It's all about transitioning or transformation, right? Something where I'm going to put a positive mindset shift by calling it that instead of change, because a lot of times when you think about change, right? Change is, it's good and bad, but a lot of people associate change with negativity, right? Like that something happened, so therefore they had to change. Versus, a transformation, right? We want to go from something where we don't feel like that we're in a good place to somewhere that's going to be a lot better than where we're at right now. So, when we relate it back to fitness, right? People, you hear this all the time, transformation, right? Our body transformation, because someone, doesn't like the way that they look, or doesn't like the way that they feel, or, they're always achy and they just want a better transformation into a more vibrant self, right? Like more energy, moving around, less pain, right? Lower body fat, so they look better in clothes. All those ideas of transformation. Same idea, like we're going to transform my life, my family's life, from our everyday routine. If you didn't already know, we're going to be living abroad for about a year, and that's coming up very, very soon, right? And that means we've had to go from everyday life of waking up, putting on the coffee, going through the routines of getting the kids ready for school, packing lunches, to now waking up in a totally new country, figuring out what we're going to do for the day. Yes, we're going to have a little bit of routine still, right? Because we still want to do we still want to teach the kids some of the school subjects, and also, do world schooling, I guess is what they call it now, where we go out and actually explore and get them to problem solve on their own a little bit, right? Of what we're gonna experience throughout the year in all these countries. And that reminds me, if you want to follow along and see our experiences and the ups and downs of world travel through different countries, and see how our family experiences different cultures and foods and whatever else is there, make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification so you know exactly when I upload the next video. Well, getting back to transformation, yes, how many times have you wanted a transformation, but what's stopping you? What has stopped you? Is there one thing like that you've been wanting to do for a very long time, right? Or start something new for a very long time, but you just haven't done it? Oh, I have a phone call. Well, that was a fake out because I'm actually on hold waiting for the pharmacist, and the whole music went off and it started to ring, and I thought, hey, it's gonna be someone, but no, it just went right back to some hold music, and that's freaking frustrating. If you've been on hold and if you've experienced it, you know what I'm getting at. So anyways, back to the transformation. What has stopped you, right? Leave in the comments below, because sometimes getting it off your chest could spur that momentum, right, to get you started. And I know it's difficult because when you want a transformation or a transition to anything that's out of your norm or out of your current state, thinking about the overwhelming nature of everything that you got to do is totally crazy. And for us, right, like to think about how are we gonna take our kids out of school for a year, sell our house, sell 90% of the things that we own, say goodbye to all the people that we care about, like uproot my business. Well, like a lot of my business is online, so that helped a lot. But for my wife, right, like she's transitioning from just a teaching career in hospitality positions to now just trying to do some remote work and maybe some contract stuff. So if you guys know of any remote contract personal assistant positions, please drop them in the comments below. We would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, like that overwhelming nature of, I think that's what stops most of us from doing the things that we really, really would love to do, right? And yes, I guess and also fear, right? Fear is a big one because it's just, for people to get out of their comfort zone, to be uncomfortable, you can see, right? Like no one really likes, like very minimal people like to do that, right? Like everyone likes their comfort zone. Oh, the phone's ringing again. Oh, right back to hold music. So I'm glad I didn't get faked out again. But as I was saying, no one likes to be out of their comfort zone all the time for too long. But when you're in that comfort zone, right, you like, unless you're truly content with everything and you don't want to do anything else that's different. Like, I don't want to make it seem negative. I don't, but what I mean is, if you don't want to, not that you don't want to improve your life, but I feel like when the only times you grow is when you're able to put yourself out there, be uncomfortable. So then that forces you to think outside your comfort zone, right? And that helps you grow a bit. But when you don't, right? When you're waking up and you know exactly what's probably going to happen throughout the day, this is your routine, and you go from, like waking up at 6 and then going to bed at 10 or 11. It's the same routine or similar routine almost every single day. I think that usually, just kind of gets you in that mode of, okay, this is just kind of just maintaining, but never really growing. And that's okay if that's what your comfortable lifestyle is at this moment, right? And that's where you want to be. Like, it's scary. Like, it's not an easy thing for anyone to do their transformation, right? Like, to actually like head to a gym if they've never been to a gym, right? Or to cut out all their comfort foods where they feel like, that's the thing that gets them through every single day, is their comfort food. So if you're not ready for that kind of change, I could totally see, like, it's very, very scary and it's difficult. But if you've been dwelling on something for a very long time, right? That dwelling in that thing that just sits in your body, that just kind of pokes at you every single day, right? That can tend to also make it very unhealthy in the long run, because then you're just miserable, and because you always want to do something different, right? And you want to do something different because when you wake up every day knowing like that there's a deeper drive in you, they want to accomplish something greater in life, right? Whether it's like hitting a mark where you're feeling a bit better with your health, or you want that promotion in your job, or you want to go traveling the world for a year, right? Those drives will fester and fester and fester. And a few of the things for me, myself, I just don't want to look back in it or on it in the next 10, 15, 20 years, or however long I'm around, to regret anything. Not that I feel I would regret it totally, but it's something like that I feel is the right time. I've got the energy, my body's still in pretty good shape, right? And going through the injury last year, if you haven't followed me, I ruptured my Achilles tendon, but going through the injury last year really opened up my eyes a little bit that life is sometimes unpredictable in that way. The things that you want to do and you've been thinking about it for a very long time, what's one thing that you think you can do to move yourself forward towards that? So I'll leave you with this today. Transformations, transitions, change, all those things are not easy, right? Like, they're not easy things to just decide to do on a whim, right? Like, it's hard, especially now, when you get a little older, or like us, like when we have a family. It's not the easiest thing, and it's also this excited nervousness, right? Like, I can call it fear, but I like to always try to shift it to something more positive. But a shift in the mindset of, it's scary, but it's also it's an excited nervousness for the adventure, for the experience, right? Because we don't know exactly how things are going to turn out, right? Obviously, we hope that everything's going to turn out fantastic. I'm sure there's going to be ups and downs through this journey, and that's okay. Take the first step into your transformation. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter how small it is, how big it is, just take the first step. And if you need a little bit of a push, you got to drop it in the comment so you put that out into the world, and I'll be your #1 supporter. And stay tuned, because my next video, I'll be popping up in a totally different country.